it's not that same fun. It's that same. You're running a shop and then random things happen, i.e., burglars or a rich person or an adventurer comes in who took an arrow to the knee. Things like that. I know the reference there. No.
Did you know that's
addictive.
That used to be an old-timey phrase that meant got married.
I did, because I'm pretty sure I told you that.
Oh. Are you sure? Oh no!
I'm pretty sure I told you.
No.
I'm pretty sure I'm the one who told you that.
Back to a brand new episode of everyone's favorite podcast, the Critical Arcade Podcast. I'm your co-host, Nick.
And I'm Dave.
Hello, Dave.
Hello, Nick. Are you well?
Yes, I'm also hungry. Which, now that I say it, I realize I should have eaten something.
Whoa, your brain's quick. You were hungry, then realized you had to eat something. Damn, that's some quick brain survival mode right there.
That's years of training. That's what that is.
No doubt. That's right. I see who's got the big brain here compared to me. Well, I can't really help you with you being hungry.
Which is weird because you're in the restaurant industry.
Yes.
If anyone should be able to help me.
Yeah, but they haven't quite done digital takeaways yet. I'm waiting for, come on, technology. Microwaves. Come on, that should be able to... What's that, replicator from Star Trek? Why is that not a thing yet?
How about we put microwaves on the backs of scooters so that when your food is being delivered to you, it's also being heated.
Genius, but my mind, all I've got now is that sounds like a great origin story to a Marvel thing. All I was doing was delivering with my microwave in the back, and then I drove into a power plant, and now I'm Microwave Man. So I just...
It's Microwave Man! Help me, Microwave Man!
He just cooks chicken and stuff for you and yeah! Now have a
I'm being robbed, Microwave Man!
Cool down.
Here's some preheated chicken.
Yeah! We're sponsored by KFC. No. Anyway, where were we?
I don't know. But anyway, I'm still quite hungry. I want
that hasn't helped.
A BLT. Gimme.
Is that still bacon, lettuce, and tomato in South Africa, or is it something I don't know? Okay.
No, it still is bacon, lettuce, tomato. I need it. Because it's just very tasty. If you could have any sandwich right now, what would it be?
Our podcast start is amazing. Any sandwich right now. Ooh, a meatball sub.
A meatball sub?
A meatball sub. On a cold day, meatball sub, marinara sauce, and cheese. Nothing better.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Oh no! This was a bad idea.
Making you hungrier, right?
Yeah. No. Okay. Anyway, let's stop talking about food because we're gonna be here for a while, and my stomach might just join us on the air.
Yeah, that's me. Listen out to that, folks. See if you can hear it rumbling.
Dave, how about you tell us? What did we play for this week?
Well, this week's game was one of those one of our favorites because it's the Indie 500. So we always enjoy going for a palate cleanse in regards to just going to an indie game.
Very true.
Triple A's.
I think there was only one Indie 500 game that we didn't enjoy.
Yeah, that's right. What was that?
Well, you didn't enjoy Ollie Ollie World.
I didn't. Right. I'm not going to hide away from that. It's very true.
Ashen was boring.
That's right.
You were scared by the forest.
You say that like I'm just me. Oh, David was scared by the forest. Everybody else had a great time.
Okay, we got scared by the forest. That game spooked me a ton as well. Our only good bad Indie 500 game so far was Slender the Arrival.
Yeah, that was good bad. I'll give you that. That was just peculiar, which made it
really
fun.
Was.
But this week's one...
Sorry, yes, this week's one.
Well, this week we're actually playing another one of our Indie 500 games that we always love to do. Just a little bit of a palate cleanser from all the AAA. And it's from a Spanish developer, which I
Spanish?
Yeah, I love the idea that
I didn't know that.
We got all these American, of course, is big, and Netherlands seems to do quite a lot of indie games, but this is Spanish. I was like, I love that about gaming scene now. You can pick up a game and you'll be like, well, this is fun. And this is a little Spanish indie developer. And the fun thing also, they were a Kickstarter. And their original goal was only $40,000. And they actually raised $134,000 for the game.
And I'm sure they made even more money from the sales of this game.
Yeah, so I said so because I look, they're still relatively small, but they've got a few other games called they did a DLC for Moonlighter called Between Dimensions.
Oh right, sorry, I don't think we announced the game. It's Moonlighter.
Oh, sorry, did we not? Apologies. Yeah, sorry, it's Moonlighter. If that didn't give it away at all, they did a little DLC for it. They did a little game called Mage Seeker, a League of Legends story. So they managed to. I don't play League of Legends. I'm guessing that's a character. I don't know. And they've done a mini story for it. And a game called Catalismo. Like a little indie castle defense game. You know, one of those ones you can waste hours and hours into just defending your castle.
But they made Moonlighter and... whoo boy, this is a good one.
Right? It's one of those ones whenever you jump into an indie, you think to yourself, is this going to be one of those... really good ones, or is this going to be one of those quick cash grabs, randomly generated?
Yes.
You know, just a mindless thing. And this one was pleasantly surprising. I'm guessing you thought the same thing.
I did. I really enjoyed my time with this game. I've got a lot to say about it, but for now, I really like what this game went for. It's an idea that we've all done in RPGs, just selling all the stuff you don't need that you made in a recent excursion or whatever. This game takes it to the next level.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Have you played other games like Skyrim the like and thought to yourself, I wish I had a shop? Right? Your very own shop.
I didn't come to that realization. Maybe I felt something along the lines of, it'd be easier if I could just become a trader.
Yeah, like the merchant that travels from place to
place. Exactly.
Yeah.
But I never got that light bulb moment until I saw this game, and it makes so much sense.
Yeah, right. I remember there was actually a Skyrim mod where you could get your own little shop and your own employee, and you'd go to each cave, then come back and give it to her or him, and he'd sell it for you. But this takes it even further, right?
Yes.
Let's jump straight into the narrative.
Let's do it.
Go on.
The narrative for this game, the majority of it is just the setup, the setting,
that's right.
There's no real plot.
Yeah, you literally
they just plop you down here.
Yeah.
They give you an intro and they say go.
You play a little fella called Will who
done.
owns a little shop in Moonlighter.
What's the shop called?
I don't know.
What?
Sorry, I was doing so well. Is it not just called a shop? What's it called?
Almost. The shop is called Moonlighter and the town is called something else.
Oh, okay. Well, I obviously missed that one. I did like that the old man, you know, like in every one of these games, there's always an old man that teaches you or warns you or something like that at the beginning of the game.
Yes. Xenon.
Do you... God, you know his name. Of course you do. Yes, Xenon. And he comes in, and I was enjoying. I'm called Will. We're in a place called Moonlighter, and he says, "Don't go down the same road as was it like Adventurer? Is it Pete or Jeff? I can't remember.
It's Pete. It's Pete.
I just remember the name was just so mediocre for like.
Yeah, it's Pete.
Yeah, just don't follow Pete. He's always been a bad influence.
Don't do that. Don't go in the dungeons.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's right.
I find that hilarious that your main advisor in this game is telling you don't play the game.
Yeah, literally. Just sit around in your shop, not making any money, and just,
sell
enjoy
some
life.
Dirt. That's it.
Well, if you didn't get the gist, ladies and gents, okay, old man tells you not to do it. You decide you want to build up your shop and adventure, because there are four 4 different dungeons. Is it 4 or 5? And then there's a 5th dungeon.
It's 5. The 5th, it's 4. Yeah, you're right. 4 different ones, and then a 5th big ultimate bad dungeon.
Yeah, like a mystery dungeon. And the key is you've always wanted to know what's behind the 5th door. And of course, to get to the 5th door, you have to go to all subsequent dungeons and beat the big boss and unlock the 5th door. Each dungeon, there's a golem gun dungeon, forest, desert, and technology. You know, it mixes it up with terrain and stuff like that.
How far did you get?
Well, I got quite far because, like I say, we're talking about later. The narrative in this game isn't the point, is it? Really?
No, it isn't. It really isn't. Much like indie games, they'd have to choose which one they want to focus on. They can't do a God of War and focus on gameplay and story and audio and visuals, right? No, they need to choose one. So in this case, they chose gameplay.
Yeah, it's that gameplay loop that you've suggested upon in other games,
it's
right?
So good.
That the narrative is just the subtext to put you there and to tell you what you're doing, and then it gives you little tidbits on the way when you find the little bits of paper, and you're wondering why this is here. You're wondering why this random snot monster comes up and just owns your ass randomly. Did you have that happen?
The what?
The snot monster. He hasn't got a name.
Yes, yeah, I got the snot monster. I was scared shitless the first time I saw him.
I was cocky. Right. I was like, all right, this is like, I've obviously unlocked another special bonus. I'm going in there. I've got my big sword. Like, one swipe, like 1 billion damage. And I'm like, oh, damn. Okay. I guess I run. But yeah, narratively, that's about it. And it does that same thing.
It's flavor. That's all it is. It's just flavor for you to get invested in the gameplay. That's all it is.
So apart from that, we might as well jump straight into visuals then, because there really isn't anything else narratively.
Well,
you've got this.
Before we do that,
by all means,
I just have one final note. At the start of the game, before you even play, I think it's before you play. I can't remember. Do you go in the dungeon the first time with just a broom?
Yes, you do.
No. Yes.
Yes, you do. You do. You do go into the dungeon the first time because
then
they
after that first time, Old Man Xenon comes to you and he says, and I quote this, he says, "It's dangerous to go alone. Take this." And then he gives you your first real weapon. That is a massive reference. Do you know what that's referencing?
No.
Yes,
say it. Bugs me. I don't know. I don't know what it's a reference to.
You don't know?
I saw that somebody referenced and it was a big Easter egg and stuff like that, and I cannot remember who got given a broom. Is it Zelda or something that I haven't played?
It is.
See.
Sorry.
This is that
it
Zelda.
Is. I just clipped the mic because I'm so excited. It is
Zelda...
the very first Legend of Zelda game on the NES. They plop you down on the world. You go into a cave, and an old man says, "It's dangerous to go alone. Take this," and he gives you your first sword. That is it. That's it.
Okay. No, I got you. Okay. Like I said, I did miss that reference. Sadly, that's one of my gaming holes, my Zelda knowledge, which I know is the... How dare I? But that's cool.
We've all got these holes. Mine is Mass Effect.
Yeah, it's true. You should... And Halo, right? Sorry, let's not go down that road. But that's cool. It's always good to have the little nods to other gaming, especially games that follow kind of the same combat and style that this game does. Did you not find that kind of Zelda-like?
I did. Not as much, but the older Zelda games, let's say Minish Cap. I think this one really takes, out of all the Zelda games, this one is most inspired by Minish Cap, which is the Game Boy Advance Zelda game.
Okay.
And now that I think about it, wow, how did I not notice this sooner? It really does feel like the Minish Cap.
Oh, that's it. That's interesting. Like I said, that's interesting too. So visually, this game, it's one of those ones, again, we always state it, it's got so much charm in its pixels that it's so actually really nice to look at.
Yes.
It's we all like I said, I've said this before, we all love the AAAs, we all love the high def and the shadows and lighting and stuff. But when you've got this brightly coloured nostalgia, and it is really nice, it's shadowed, it's got light texture, but it's all pixelated. Oh, this was a pretty game.
It really is.
This was so pretty.
I enjoyed just looking at the town. This pixel art it really is gorgeous. Once you finally recruited all the people in the town,
that's right. The
enchanter, blacksmith, whatever,
yeah.
And this town becomes so alive. All these sprites walking around. It's so colorful. Everything's so bouncy, and it's pixel art, and I can't get enough.
Yeah, there was loads of things that they did that they didn't have to. Did you notice that when you were just running around a dungeon somewhere, there were these little slugs or spiders or snails, and if you walked on them, they squished, and you saw a little scene as you walked on them. That was, like I said, it's so much. You didn't need to do it because they could have just walked around. It could have been, but the idea they put the time in to do that just makes it so rewarding.
Yes, the dungeon is filled with things like that. There'd be in the Golem dungeon an old rusty sword in the ground, and then if you attack it, it would fall over. A pot would break, whatever. There's no mechanical benefit. It's just cool.
The only thing about those bits, you know when you ever go into these games and you see things that are animated, you always think, okay, that's how you do it once, you're going to find a coin, or you do it twice, you're going to find materials.
Yes.
But all those desks and all those swords, where they were animated, didn't really add anything. Like
mechanically or to the vibe, because they've added a ton to the vibe.
But after you've done your 17th dungeon, you just don't walk over them anymore. You don't activate them anymore because I guess it's my own greed. There's no reason.
I'm not gonna lie. If I'm fighting a golem and a couple of desks shatter along our fight, that feels cool.
Okay, you're playing the whole scene like
yes,
and you crush through two desks.
You should too. Listeners, you should too.
Don't listen to David. You should enjoy the set pieces.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
No,
David's
that's
not
fine.
wrong.
No, that's fine. Like I said, each to their own. I liked that they put the time in, and I love the little bug squishers. I love that every room, even though this is defined as a roguelike, right? Where the rooms are is this a roguelike?
Yes, I think Roguelite.
Oh, okay. The rooms are randomly generated. The maps themselves, the dungeons, if you know anything, it doesn't matter which time, if you die or you reload, it's all different, but kind of the same. It's always same bad guys, but just different placement and the like.
Same tile sets, different layout.
But I do love that each time you go into a room, there could be a secret.
Yes,
you know the sparkly holes, right?
Yes, the sparkly holes.
Yeah, there was like most games.
That's where you find the snot monster.
Oh, you find loads. These pitfalls in games that you would normally jump across, and if you fall down, you'd lose some life. Some of those holes had secrets in them, like a chest that would teleport all your items back home.
Yeah.
And there was another one which had a pillar which you'd activate, which would send lots of bad guys at you, to then unlock a chest afterwards. Right?
Yes.
You get that too? Yeah.
These are fun. I did, and it adds an extra dynamic layer to the entire pot.
But can you tell
no
me?
run is ever the same.
No, exactly right. That's about later on in the gameplay loop. That's one of the aspects that just makes it so much better. But can you tell me? Maybe I missed it. You know, you in the dungeons randomly you find a tent or a place where an adventurer.
Oh yeah, and
left.
Some notes.
Yeah, is that literally it? Because I know I'm going to sound mean again, but they looked all pretty. But every time I found one, I just left again. Because
same.
All it had was a note in it.
Immediately, the music changed. Oh, there's a tent and some notes. Okay, bye.
Yeah.
I would just leave.
The amount of times I went in those rooms and just tried to click on everything, thinking I'm missing something.
Yeah,
Am
same.
I
also felt
here?
like I was missing something.
It can't just be this note. That's it.
I was hoping we would record this and you would tell me, oh, you missed it. There's a whole level in the tent or whatever.
Yeah, it's you didn't use your bow and arrow.
So there
on
really
the tent.
is nothing.
No, I could not find a thing. They were nice and oh, okay, a tent. And then I just left because the notes are just a little bit of lore or a tiny bit of
and it's always the same.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm glad. I'm glad either of us. It'd be funny if both of us just missed it, and there's like Uber materials or a companion you could pick up or something. But yeah, I couldn't make sense of any of those. But anyway, visually, this thing it's such a delight. It screams for handheld for me. I played on the PlayStation
Switch.
5.
This is perfect for the Switch.
This is one of those. It would look so pretty on a small screen. Everything about it is it's like a traveling game. I know, like it's the one where you just keep in your suitcase, or your backpack, or whatever for when you're on the bus.
You're sitting at the DMV. And
exactly.
Around through the dungeon takes about 10 or 15 minutes, right? A shop managing round takes about 10 or 15 minutes. This is perfect.
It is. It really is one of those.
You're in the Uber, for example.
Yeah, this and it's a niche, its own market itself, and this fits in so well because you can see yourself doing it. Quickly, just sell these items and then back to work or move ahead in the queue again. No,
I like it a lot.
It's very good. Anything else visually you want to add?
I just wanted to add that each dungeon, we've talked about the pixel art at length. I like the way that not only does each dungeon look very different, the Golem Dungeon, Forest, Desert, Tech Dungeon, they all look very different. But each level of the dungeon looks different as well.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's right.
The first level of the Forest Dungeon looks different to the second level, and looks different to the third level. The trees would be more overgrown, right?
Yeah, it becomes you can see the change from like level 1 to level 2 to level 3, and they get harder, and like you said, in some cases they look more unkept and unadventured and untouched by anyone as you develop and they get harder as the game goes on.
It really does. The structures, the doorway structures in the Golem Dungeon would be more ornamented, more elaborated, would be bigger. They didn't have to do that. They could just keep all the dungeons looking unique and have all levels look the same. They didn't have to do that.
Yeah, it's the same with the bad guy as well. The Golem bad guy, he was cool. He was...
Yes.
Through each stage, you have to take on one mini-boss, and then eventually you take on a big boss. And the mini-bosses for the 3 stages were fundamentally the same, right? Just had different movesets. You had
and
simple
eventually
one and
became very easy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, I agree. But then the last boss mixes everything up because it's got 2 different arms, and it's got 2 different stages of fighting. And it's the same with the tree level, the forest place. First of all, those trees were a pain in my ass.
Yes.
Did you? I was trying to look for a pattern, but as you do in these games, and for me it was just run around.
When it throws the berries.
Yeah, just run around in circles. It was driving me mental.
I couldn't figure it out either. I would just take the hits and keep on attacking.
Yeah, that's one way of doing it, I suppose. But anyway, I digress. Audio. Should we jump into audio? Yeah?
Audio. Oh man, how can we just keep on praising this game? Is that all we're gonna do?
I'm glad you've got more audio because you're audio man, as we all know. I was so caught in the pictures and stuff. My audio segment's a little low. Right. So by all means, take the floor, Mr. Audio Man. What did you think of the audio?
I think the audio was great, and I think it's divided into a load of parts. My favorite being the shop.
Just the ambiance and stuff like that, or
when you open shop and you've got customers inside. Besides the sound design, which is also good, the music in the shop, it's just a guy on a xylophone, another person on some hand drums, and they're just having a relaxed time. I can imagine just sitting around a fire with this music just going.
Just being all spiritual and just enjoying yourself.
Right.
Yeah, I'm with you.
The song made me sit down and I needed it to rain while I played this game. It would be the coziest time ever.
I like... Go on.
Besides the shop, the music in the dungeons are good as well. My favorite being, as we said, the visual style sort of ramps up as you get deeper into the dungeon.
That's right.
The music does the exact same.
Ooh, I didn't notice that. Like, becomes
Did you
faster
not?
paced or something as
No,
just
not
more
just the pace, but they would.
Yeah.
Yeah, they would add more instruments. The pace would be slightly faster. It would get more intense. The first level of a dungeon would sound very not at all the same than the third level.
Yeah, no. I like I said, there were times when I was just loot gathering or material gathering that I didn't know what floor I was on, be it 1, 2, or 3, because I was caught. But you could instantly find that out by graphically. Sometimes if you looked hard, you could see the diff. But even the music would even tell you too, because you could hear a cacophony of noise compared to more silence.
You're so right. That is excellent sound design or music design as well. It's so when you can just. You can close your eyes, and by listening, on what level you are. It's great. It really is.
I liked in the shops as well. And it just came to me now. When you run your shop, you start off with only say 10 or 20 customers, and as your shop builds up, you actually get there's quite a few people in your shop. And
there's a lot, and they're all there for different purposes.
Yeah, so it can be a bit manic. And I did like the idea that when you overprice something, you heard the angry or disappointed noise, because if you didn't have time to look at that queue, you didn't know it was happening. So I'd be refilling the bargain bin or something like that, and then you hear the noise and your eye is instantly drawn to who was upset or who thinks I'm a ripoff. It was that aspect of the sound that really helps, because if not, I could have just wandered around or tried to put something new on the pedestal to sell and wouldn't have noticed. Like my economics was wrong, or my marketing was wrong. See, that was a good use. Sound really does.
I've got that exact note in audio. The hardest part to pull off is the sound design for running a shop, because if you're dungeon diving and fighting, it makes sense what sounds would be necessary for a situation.
That's true. Yeah.
But for running a shop, what mechanical sounds would there be that you need to help you to run the shop, right? And it's great. There's a sound for every price reaction. There's a sound for money spent and gained. There's a sound for catching a burglar. There's a sound for managing your storage. It's incredible.
How much did you start hating the sound when you were too cheap? When you're too cheap, the eyes would light up and go drilling, and I'd be like, damn it!
I don't like that sound. I could have made more money.
And you gotta love this game, because one of the achievements is naive. So as soon as you sell like 20 to 50 items too cheaply, they unlock an achievement that says naive seller.
Naive? Oh no, I didn't get that.
Oh, obviously somebody else did. You did better at economics than I did. Ooh.
Did you use the bargain bin?
Yeah, on occasion, yeah. Mainly I put everything on the pedestal because I could get more money for it. But
Did you see the bargain bin tells you the value of an item?
No. When you chuck them in, but I thought that was the base value you charged the item at. Does it actually tell you the? Yeah.
Well,
it had numbers on it.
When you put something in the bargain bin, let's say I had the third one, the 50% off one.
Okay, yeah.
And somebody takes something from the bargain bin, I would keep an eye on my wallet.
Mm.
And then if they take something, and then I would see, I just got 100 coins.
Oh, really? So you know that the normal price is supposed to be 200?
That then means that item's real value is 200 coins.
No, I didn't spot that. That's
yes.
that's
so
very
if you
cunning.
put it on the pedestal for 200 coins, you'd get the perfect price smiley face.
Yeah, that's right. The perfect smiley face and noise. Ooh, that was a nice observation. Damn, I did not spot that at all. I was selling bargain prices everywhere, it would seem. But okay, I guess I'm naive, and you're you should run a shop. What can I say?
I am businessman.
Yeah, audio man and businessman. Damn.
I've digivolved into businessman.
Anything else audio-wise here?
No, we can move on to the big one, gameplay.
Yeah, right. This is going to be a doozy, because like we touched on before, it's that gameplay loop that doesn't require much of a narrative.
Correct.
And that going in and going into the dungeons to explore, killing the baddies for materials, coming back to your shop, like to price them right. You've got a whole pricing thing, and like
that was so much fun.
And a textbook telling you what your old price was too high or too low, and you get it was.
I really liked that moment before you open your shop. It's morning, you just woke up. And you're not opening your shop just yet because you're stocking the shelves.
Yeah, that's right. You are stocking the shelves. So that's good. Right. Putting things out.
It's just such a moment.
But they were also really clever because they didn't. There was due to the fact you're trying to learn economics and the economy of the town. You had this little textbook that if you got if you priced something at 100 and then someone bought it, it would then log in the textbook if your price was too high, too low, or close.
But yes.
But they wouldn't log in your textbook if that item was in demand, because that would be swayed by popular demand. So it never logged that price in. So it doesn't matter if you were too cheap or too low, and it would never log in your textbook if the person was a rich person. You know, the snobby guys that come in.
Yes. I never get the price. I'd hate seeing a rich person come in, and they take something that I need to figure the price out of.
Yeah, they always did. But so it made it difficult because the only numbers you could use were the normal customers coming in when the rarity of the value was neutral, and those were the only markers they'd give you in regards to price and how close you were. So this was actually tough. It was tough to actually gauge the prices of each item.
The system they made here works. I just think the textbook that you're working out of can be a bit more elaborated on.
Yeah, that was kind of a pain in the ass, wasn't it? It was only
I
later
find it's
on.
Good enough, right? It was serviceable.
Yeah.
It could have been more, but it was fine.
It was only later on.
Especially after I figured out how to use the bargain bin.
Well, yes. No, that sounds like you cracked the code. I was 7 to 8 hours in before I realised that in the textbook there was like price markers. Did you notice that? Yeah.
What do you mean price markers? After you sell something for too low or too high?
No, if you scroll through the textbook, there was like a content under 200 and then under 500.
Yes.
I only found that later on when I was selling like Gollum manuscripts for like 10. And I'm like, okay, but is that close? Because some of the things to me, I'm like, well, broken sword hilt, that's got to be like 5 because it's a broken sword. And a stick I get is 5, but something broken sword hilt's 100. I'm like, what? It's broken. And I'd always underprice any weapons I found. Like I'd be like, okay, $1,000. And then some adventurer would come in with his coin eyes and say, "Oh, bargain! I'll take that." And
ooh, yummy.
Yeah, exactly. Well, like I said, this is the loop that grabs you, ladies and gents. It's that whole.
It really is.
You've got it, and then you priced it wrong, and you think, "Damn, I could have got more money, and I need to upgrade my shop or upgrade the town," and you're like, "Damn it! Now I got to do it all over again." It's addictive.
It really is. And that's how you know they got the gameplay loop down. But what I find interesting from this game is it's almost like this game is divided into 2 gameplay loops.
Mm-hmm. Go on.
Right? If you look at it from that angle, that there's a gameplay loop for the town and shop management, and then a gameplay loop for dungeon delving.
Mm. Oh, yeah, definitely.
And you're constantly just switching between those two, 10 or 15 minutes at a time. It's masterful, and they complement each other so nicely. Right, when you're in a dungeon, it's tense.
Yeah, no, it is.
It's tense.
Like I said, it's hard, and you don't have any potions, and no, it's hard work. Those dungeons aren't the easiest of things, no doubt.
No, so you're tense all the time, and I found that when I'm on the 3rd level, I have 2 potions. It's enough for me to keep going, but not enough for me to go home yet.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I agree. Yeah, that's right. There's that management again, right?
Yes, it's tense, and I want more loot, because I'm on the 3rd level.
Can I just tell you, Who did you find to be the most pain in the ass bad guys? The general bad guys in this game, the monsters.
Let's see. It would have to be those little brown boys that kept throwing you with air bubbles.
Oh, you didn't like those in the forest level?
No,
yeah,
they sucked.
Me, it was the big slime.
What do you mean? The big snot monster?
Yeah, the big pink slime that would grab you and hold you in place.
Oh, right. They're as big as your backpack.
Yeah, I know.
Yes.
It sounds the simplest, and they are probably some of the easiest monsters in the game. But when they grab you, and then you got 16 baby slimes just taking 12 life out of you each time. They just own you, and it used to annoy me so much every time. They just...
Yes.
Oh, I hated those things.
Same. I didn't like the big slimes would shuffle towards you, but that last, 2-3 meters, they would just jump.
Yeah, quickly,
exactly.
timing. Yeah,
and you would misjudge your attack and miss, and then they would stun you.
I hated those things so much. They would go be mental.
What did you attack? What was your main weapon?
Oh, big sword.
Big sword?
Big sword. Most of the
Hell
time.
Yeah, big sword.
Mainly because it's got those cliched mechanics, which I also enjoyed. We all know that when you've got these dungeon delving Zelda likes, big sword, what's the move you get when you hold the button in?
Big slice.
Big sword swirly move. When you spin and spot, right?
Yes, big sword swirly move.
Yeah, and of course, if you got a spear, what's the button when you hold it in? It's charge recklessly forward. Run. It's.
Wait a minute. Are you dunking on the spear? I played with the spear.
Did you play with the spear?
Yes, I played with a spear.
I just love the nostalgia of it because you already know what the charge is before anyone even tells you, and they don't really tell you. Did you use the gauntlets at all? I never used. I
found a pair of gauntlets underneath a skeleton, and then I punched once or twice. Yeah. And then I thought, oh wow, this is tiny.
Oh, really? It's one of those rapid attacks more than actual damage, right?
It's rapid, but you need to be on top of the enemy, and then they just hurt you anyway.
Worst. Oh, no, that's the worst. And then for some reason, the charge attack of the bow and arrow, did you use that?
No, I didn't use a bow and arrow.
The arrows start to home in. So if you stand at the edge, they curve like Legolas, like doing a shot, so that you could get some curves
nice.
In. But mainly, no, just big swingy sword move was my the way I went. Especially the big bad guys, I could kill them in one. It hits 2 to 3 times.
Yeah, if you had 5 slimes in front of you, one big slice.
Yeah, exactly.
And you could take them all out.
Another cool little thing they did, like gameplay and just instructed, if you held your charge and then the big slime grabbed you, when the big slime let you go again, your charge would actually release as well. So it actually allowed you to hold that mechanic whilst in there, because
that's nice. That's nice.
I hate those things.
This game knows that a game needs to be fun.
Yeah,
game needs to be fun. So many games forget that it can't be fun because this is a gritty game. You need to go look for the Elden Ring and the Dark Soul. It can't be fun.
Okay, now here's I'm gonna have a hot take. Grumpy David's coming out again. What did you
Grumpy
think? Dave, sorry. What did you think of the weird backpack managing mechanic where you could only, like the Tetris, you could only put this on the left,
right.
and if you put this one there, it would disappear.
Certain items had some qualities.
Yeah. Did you like that or not?
Well, I didn't like it. I got slightly annoyed by it, but I just kind of accepted that it's part of the game.
Yeah.
And I didn't... I felt my backpack was too small. I did feel that.
Yeah, right. At any point, could you upgrade
small,
that?
actually.
Am I going mad? I couldn't find an upgrade for the backpack.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, yeah, because that was annoying. And it got to the point... Now, ladies and gents, there'd be these little mechanics where if you put one item next to the other item, it would make the other item disappear. Or if you put one item, it would duplicate the item. And we've all done inventory management in all these games. And for me, I didn't need to make that harder. I didn't need to make... Anytime it had one of those things, I just quickly sold it onto that magnifying glass thing. Because
yes, for some moolah.
Yeah, I'm not in the mood to play, like, very strange, hardcore Tetris. when I'm just trying to make room in my
Makes
backpack.
sense.
You know, I
Makes sense.
understand they're trying to add another level, and I like a puzzle as much as the next man. But this just got more frustrating than it was fun later on in the game because it got harder. The tile management got even harder as the game progressed, and that just did my head in.
It's almost like the developers try to make every single element in this game a mini game.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Inventory management, dungeon diving, shop management, even townspeople's requests were slotted into your calendar.
That's right. Did you?
There's a lot. No, I didn't do any of them.
No, they were too much. They paid well though. Like somebody asked me like 42 grand to complete something, and I was like, damn. But did you?
But no, I need to defeat 10 of these incredibly rare enemies tomorrow.
Very soon, yeah, exactly. No, I wasn't doing that. And another one we got when you go through the dungeons, you found these eggs, right? Like a golem egg and a slime egg.
Oh, I like that. See, here it is again. Yes, I found some eggs, and I eventually got 4 or 5 of these pets.
Yeah. And then
these pets, I equipped one. These pets can help you in dungeon diving, right? There's one that picks up items for you. There's one that stuns your enemies. There's one that does a ranged attack. There's one that poisons. There's a lot.
I was 8 hours in until I realized you could take one. I got the eggs. They were in my farm bit, and then they hatched, and there were baby little like monsters in it. And I was like, "Oh, that's cool. Do I just watch them grow up?" And it was like, they're in there, and I was like, "Oh, nice." And then I looked at them, and I was like, "Oh, okay, descriptions of them. That's cool." And then I exited, and it was only ages later when I actually pressed X on one of them, I thought, wait, what's that behind me? And I had this little baby golem that shot
this little fella.
Yeah, it was. I can't believe it took me so long because I was wondering about that for ages. I thought, how come that's not a mechanic? It's just little baby monsters in my yard. Yeah, I'm an idiot fundamentally.
Yeah, no, Well, it's also on the developers because they don't tell you these things at all. They don't tell you, and also, should we not just be more curious and inquisitive?
Yeah, it's that line between hand holding and then learning yourself. It's nice to find things out yourself, and we all hate like a 40-minute to an hour tutorial. Because, you know, we get it now. Or tutorials that say you can do it, but if you don't want to, you don't have to. You know, those are the... And so I agree. I'm on the edge there. I don't like hand holding, but there was some in here where I was like, oh, that would have been nice to know earlier. It
would have been nice if somebody told me.
Yeah, where's that old man telling me about my monster farm or something? Yeah, no, it's a complicated one, that one.
Yeah, I get it. I do. I've got a question.
Go on.
I've got a question for the developers.
They're listening, I'm sure.
Hey developers, why can't I attack? Developers...
You've got to say it in Spanish.
Oh,
They're Spanish developers.
I'm definitely not going to do that because a lot of people are listening to this show. Hey developers, why can't I attack diagonally?
Yeah, that was annoying. That's true.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it has anything. There's no repercussion for the big sword because you can just big slice attack, and half the screen would be gone.
That's
but
right.
For the spear spear is a straight jab. Right, I'm stabbing.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
I can stab up, left, right, and down. But there have been so many cases where the enemies are diagonal from me.
Yeah, I can see
right?
that.
Because this is a tiled game.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Then I need to go step up and then attack left.
That's right. Of course you did, yeah.
Wouldn't it just make so much more sense if I could attack diagonally?
It just sounds like you're jealous of my big spinny sword. My big spinny sword.
I'm not going to say I am.
Never had that problem. I was just spinning away every diagonal I wanted. I even slashed diagonally because for the fun of it.
Because you could. Oh, Nick wanted this. Oh,
yeah.
Big slice.
He's there with his little poking stick. I can just go.
Yeah, okay. Maybe the big sword would have been better, but I like my spear.
Out of curiosity, did the spear do a critical on the third hit?
Yes,
Because
it
the
did.
sword did. Okay, I was just so that's a gaming mechanic
yes,
too.
it did.
If you could
and
get
I
it up
like
to
the
third.
spear because of its reach.
Yeah, I know that.
And because it did a lot of damage. I was very satisfied with the amount of damage I did with the spear. I just couldn't attack diagonally.
Well, there you go. But in theory, that's so you change your play style, right? You say you try out the sword,
you're right.
try
That
out the
is,
gauntlets, try out the bow.
The thing about the big sword is it's slow.
Yeah, of course. As
so I think they all have their drawbacks.
Yeah,
Can't
exactly
attack
right.
diagonally, and big sword is slow.
That's right. And in my head, because because I always think about these weird things.
Yeah.
Your dodge roll is very effective and stuff, but all I keep thinking about, your backpack is so huge that if you actually tried to roll, you'd just like be stuck on the top of your head. And you've got things made out of glass and stuff like that. I was like, come on, can't you give me like magic pockets or something? Because backpack, damn.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
I've got a priceless urn.
Yeah, right. I know. It's
with somebody's ashes. No, I'm gonna do a backflip all over this dungeon.
It's a weird thing to be fussy about. But
I
was
never
like,
even realized.
Yeah, like physics just doesn't work there, mate. Like it's not gonna happen.
Out of the two gameplay loops, which one was your favorite?
It's gonna sound weird, but shop management.
Oh, me too! Yay! Me too!
It's because that's fresher, right? We've all played the roguelites and we've all done it. But like hardcore shop management is new. It's tough. It's who knows? Who knew I liked shop management? Yeah.
When you're on the third level of shop managing, you've got this big shop, right?
That's right.
You've got glass cases.
Yeah.
You need to keep an eye on burglars who don't have any sound design, by the way, which is a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
You need to manage the bargain bin. You need to talk to customers who've got requests.
That's right. Later on, you actually hire an employee.
Really?
Yeah, because your stuff is too much. Because you've got to deal with this, deal with that, and sort this out. So you actually get an employee that works at the register. So she just takes the money. He or she takes the money.
So cool.
No, it is.
So
it was
cool.
weirdly fun to run the shop each time. It really was.
And you can fit the counter with different aesthetically pleasing pieces that would increase the tip. It would increase the amount of customers, or your shop would be open for longer.
That's it.
There's so many layers. And yes, the shop management side, the shop management gameplay loop is my favorite too.
Yeah, it was so much fun. Remind me a little bit of like this theme hospital type games.
Yes.
Have you played those games? I know they're relatively
a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, it's not that same fun. It's that same. You're running a shop and then random things happen, i.e. burglars or a rich person or an adventurer comes in who took an arrow to the knee. Things like that. I know the reference there. No.
Did you know that's
addictive.
That used to be an old-timey phrase that meant got married?
I did, because I'm pretty sure I told you that.
Oh. Are you sure? Oh no!
I'm pretty sure I told you. No. I'm pretty sure I'm the one who told you that. Yeah, it's supposed to be because he got married, he no longer adventures. So he says, I used to be an adventurer like you until I took an arrow to the knee.
Yes.
No, I thought it was a great reference.
You know what? You are the person that told me that.
Supposedly Starfield's supposed to have a reference to that somewhere too. Yeah,
really?
For the people who were playing that. Yeah, there's supposed to be some weird little reference with some, I guess, shop owner or something where there's a reference to the took an arrow to the knee from Skyrim. Yeah. Which is cool. I love those.
It is very cool. I love it when these game developers reference, just acknowledge other properties and have fun with it.
It's all the same universe in some way.
Yes.
Yeah, no, it's cool. Anything else gameplay you want to talk about?
We can keep on talking about gameplay
it really
a
is
long
great.
time. We really can. But no, let's keep on going. How about performance? Do you have any bugs or performance grievances?
Not even one. I saw nothing go wrong with this game when I played it. Did you?
Really? That's surprising. Yes, I did. A lot.
Go on. Sorry, I didn't. I sound like an old cartoon character then.
I say a lot.
Yeah.
But it's mainly just the same bug that happened constantly.
Okay. Maybe I had it and didn't notice. Go on. What was it?
It could be. It's a UI bug. When you're in the shop taking requests or talking to the other shopkeepers in town,
Yeah.
there's a potion lady
That's right.
or blacksmith man or
Yeah.
mean alternative shopkeeper.
Yeah,
Who's
I didn't shop there at all. But
really?
yeah, I know the guy. Yeah, no, not once.
I did once or twice. I did once or twice, and then he said something about, "I'm glad you're recognizing the superior product." Or something.
Ooh, he is mean. Yeah.
And anyway, I talked to the first time I noticed this was when I talked to the potion lady.
Yeah.
I selected a potion I wanted to make, and then the game usually asks you, "Are you sure?" And then there's a head nodding yes or shaking no.
That's right. Yeah.
I selected a potion I wanted to make, and then that prompt just didn't appear.
Oh, really?
I could see the game was on that prompt because I couldn't select anything else.
Like this, yeah. Oh, I didn't notice that at all.
It was missing. And if I went right and then selected the option, it would make the potion.
For free? Did you find like a
No.
Oh, okay.
I selected yes in the prompt.
You said the yes prompt, but it wasn't there.
Exactly.
No,
but the prompt was missing. And after I noticed this, it happened every third time that prompt had to appear.
That's really odd. Like, that sounds like it was just coded ever so slightly wrong for some reason or other. A bug's a bug. That would be a bug.
I don't know. So I scored this game, unfortunately, low on performance. But at least I knew right select is yes, left.
Yeah, at least you weren't locked in screen. Yeah.
Exactly. So I knew if it was missing, I could just go left select and it would accept, or right select and it would decline. But a bug is a bug.
Another time I might have been an idiot. Sorry, you just reminded me.
Here we go. Lay it on us, Dave.
The blacksmith. Like most games, there's a blacksmith which can upgrade your armor and your swords and stuff. So I think
his name's Andre.
There you go. Andre's in there. He's sorting me out. I'm buying some iron armor. I've got all the ingredients to do it. Okay, I'm kitted out. I got some shoes and stuff. And then I go, okay, let's buy some swords. And I'm like, okay. And then there's like a big sword and massive sword and this sword.
Yes.
And then I see the sword on the left, right? And I'm thinking that's just generic sword.
Exactly. I thought the same. Cheap sword, but I want the expensive sword.
Yeah. So I didn't know you had to buy the first sword to get onto the branches of the other swords. I figured that was just sword. This was like the tag, the marker to say you're on the sword menu. Yeah. So I'm going, but I've got all the ingredients, and it says I need this.
What's wrong?
The sword is shadowed out. I have a sword. So I thought I had to find it in the dungeons. So yet again,
give me the big sword.
Yeah, for hours on hours, I'm going, what? Why can't I get a better sword? Go back to
wow.
it. Realize
seems like you had some.
I had a hard time
with how this game is giving across information.
Really, I don't know if it's just me, but I didn't, because it also said it called itself Basic Sword, which I thought, because Grandad gives you the sword and the shield. Somewhere I was going to pick up the basic sword, the basic bow or something, and then upgrade them. I made that assumption, I suppose. It's only later I realised you had to buy the first one. That was so annoying.
That is hilarious. Although I fell into the exact same pitfall.
Oh, really?
But I thought to myself, because I'm going from sword and shield to spear, I might as well just buy the basic spear to test it out.
Yes, makes sense.
And then after I bought the basic spear, I realized, oh, it's a tree.
Yeah, that's so... I took a lot longer to get there, but I'm glad I wasn't the only one who was somewhat confused by that little, I guess, user interface.
Yeah, you know what did confuse me, which I think I can slot under performance?
Yeah.
Are these dumb tutorial images that don't have any text.
Oh, yeah, right? They didn't... That's true.
Right? You know what I'm talking about.
That's right.
They tried to explain this concept with 4 pictures next to each other, and I didn't get it.
Some of them were hard. It's true. I was... when you unlock...
Just tell me what you want to tell me. Just show me the words.
And there was when you unlock the ability to put a portal in place so you could go back to that floor.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, but is that indefinitely or once? Like, you put down a portal, you go back to your shop.
Yeah.
Is that portal going to be there until you reuse it again? Or is the next morning, is it going to disappear because it's only a 24-hour thing? So, because it doesn't explain anything. You genuinely in this game have to find out the hard way.
This game just wants you to test out trial and error, be curious and inquisitive. If you lose 20,000 gold, sorry, now you know not to do that again.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is commendable, but do I have to?
It's finding that line, which I think they kind of just went a bit past it on this one, where it was...
I guess so. Some parts they were on...
Yeah, they were...
I don't know.
But performance-wise, I had nothing. Like I said, it ran smooth. There was no lag. Yeah. Of course, the frame rates are gonna drop on a game like this. It's all
so good.
Lovely little 16 bits or 32 bits or whatever it is.
It was made in Unity, which is...
Oh, the Unity engine, right?
Yeah, I think Unity's free.
I think so too. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's excellent. Yeah.
That's great. It loaded longer than a game like this should load on a PS5.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. It did take a little time to load.
Yeah, that little loading animation ran twice or 3 times.
Yeah.
And then I thought, okay, this is a 16-bit game. I am running this on a PS5.
That's a bit odd, though. I wouldn't even know why that would be. Like, why would it take so long? Is that a coding thing?
I don't know.
Who knows? But anyway, it is a decent game. What? Should we jump value for money?
Oh, value for money. This is an easy win. Easy win.
Well, like I said, we've been playing the version that comes to the PlayStation subscription, which is, as I keep saying, is free, but it's not, and it's going up in price as well. So damn, so this is not even close to being free anymore.
Let's not talk about PS Plus price.
I know.
No,
but I saw it elsewhere on Steam, and I think it's on the Switch store, right? It must be on the Switch store.
It's on the eShop. It is.
And it was. Yeah, it was worth the price tag, I must admit. This game, compare it to other games of its type.
This is definitely worth the price.
Yeah, if you compare it to other games of its type, it is worth it. So I'm just double checking the prices of it.
Like it's fine. I think it's going for $20.
Yeah, on Steam it's $20. And I think it's $25 on the Nintendo Switch store.
I'd even pay $25 on the eShop. That's fine. The value you're getting from a game like this, it's not the longest, right? I don't know, 10, 15 hours, which is fine. But the value in those 10, 15 hours is
And it's
good.
true. And by all accounts...
That's triple the value of 10 hours in Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
No, I agree. And I love... And let's face it, with the Kickstarter, I do love that they get the money. You know, this is an indie game when you pay them. Granted, there's a split in regards to the platforms you host it on and stuff like that. But this is going to a small developer so that they can keep making games like this.
It's just
which is how it should be. I know
it's a great story. It's such a great story. I like it.
It just means, like I say, it's weird to say, but it means so much more to them that you buy it for $20 than it would be for EA and Ubisoft
or Activision.
And yeah, exactly. And that almost feels nice when you buy it. It's like you're actually, I don't know, affecting the indie space. If you know what I mean?
When you, it's like when you buy Diablo 4 for $70 or something. You don't get a thank you. You just get a shut up now. Buy the battle pass.
Yeah, and we're going to ruin it in like 6 months. Or
exactly.
Or however long they do.
This game, no, it's $20. It's such a good experience. And 5 years from now, you could just start a new game.
No, I agree.
It would...
It is one of those games that you would, in a few years' time, again, when you think, I'm going on a plane and I'm going to have 8 hours, what game should I play? It's that, because it's so simple and fun and easy to pick up.
Ladies and gents, anyone distraught with the current gaming community, go play indie games.
Yeah, I agree.
Go play indie games.
It's like we said earlier, the palate cleanser. It just reminds you of like the old days, or it reminds you of people caring and loving. There really is like a warm hug about playing some of these old, really cool indie games that are coming out. They really are. They're remarkable.
Now I want a warm hug and a meatball sub.
Oh yeah, damn! So, your poor stomach, your poor body right now. It is a great game.
This is why I fell in love with playing games like this.
I agree.
More of this, please.
Yeah, these are great. I love that these come out around the corner, or even just surprise you, because I'd never even heard this game until the list, all hail the list, gave us this game to play, because I hadn't. Because
yes.
It was just another one of those indie games, because there's so many of them.
Please give us more of this.
Yeah, this was great. It really was.
Yeah. But I mean, we can keep on go.
We could.
We could go on and on about Moonlighter. It's such a good. Go play the game. It's not expensive. It's cheap. It's on Switch, PC, Xbox, and PlayStation.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
Go do it. It's affordable. Go play Moonlighter. It's a good time. But I think that is it, right?
Yeah, what did we score this bad boy then? No, yes. What did we score it?
Oh, man. A Moonlighter from, what was the Spanish studio in 2018?
Spanish studio, cool. Digital Sun.
Digital Sun, yes. The scores we gave Moonlighter, we went to the little town that Moonlighter's in. I can't remember the name. We went dungeon diving, and piece by piece, we picked up more scores for this game. Until we finally got smacked by a snot monster back in town, where our scores evolved into the letter grade rating of B-. Such a good score for this game.
It's a great score. Comparatively,
I wouldn't mind giving this a B even.
Borderlands 2 got a B-.
Great. Total War Warhammer got a B-.
Yeah, exactly.
Fantastic.
It's literally that pedigree, but an indie game. You know, It's just fun to say. It's fun to think a little Spanish studio tried to raise 40,000, got 134, and then released a game that's as fun, for at least in our opinions, to play as Borderlands 2. You know, that's wild.
Yeah,
but that's,
it really is.
Puts a smile to your face.
I'm sure you can get Borderlands 2 for $20 too, maybe even cheaper.
Even cheaper now.
I mean, 2K's got enough money. Go buy
that's
Moonlighter.
True. It's not like they're broke, by all accounts. I agree.
Go buy and play Moonlighter. Do it. But yeah. Thanks for listening to this week's episode of the Critical Arcade Podcast. If you'd be so kind, you could leave us a review on whatever platform you're listening this on. It would help us a ton. We have been getting more viewers, but it never hurts to get more. So recommend this to all your friends who you think would enjoy a nice, entertaining gaming podcast. You can follow us on our social channels, on Threads, Instagram, or email. I'm Nick at criticalarcade.com.
And I'm Dave at criticalarcade.com.
Besides for your email, Dave, where else can we follow you?
Well, I am out and about, I even though it is cold out here, but successfully one of those eggs I was talking about earlier, I've actually managed to hatch and raise one of those big pink slime things that I hated so much. And so if you do come anywhere near me, I'm going to have that bad boy just engulf you in the pink slime, and then weirdly just have anybody else around beat you up. Because that's exactly what they did in game. Everybody then just goes to town on you. So if I've got one. He's my friend. I like him now. He'll just cover you in slime, and people will just randomly beat you up. So that's your thing. By all means, come say hello.
Thanks, Dave. And no thanks, slime. Yeah. We need big swords so we can big slash.
Yeah, exactly. We all need them.
You can find more big slash content on our Patreon, where we offer 2 exclusive shows, a post show where we just record ourselves talking about games, the industry, what's going on. Just hang out with us. And we also record Critical Cinema, a show exactly like this, but we talk about movies instead of games. Because I need to watch movies.
Yeah, I talk about movies and why you should watch them, and you talk about why you haven't. And then we,
I watch the movies. I watch the movies, and then we talk about them.
That's true.
But
that's
yes,
true.
you're
why
definitely
you
the one more knowledgeable.
Would be the term. Yeah, it's a good time either way.
Dave, how would you tell us what have we got lined up for next week?
Well, next week's game is it
is a bit hazy, I have to say, because this is release time, October, November. It gets there's a load of games coming out.
There is.
What has the list given us?
Well, next week's game is actually again another an indie. I actually never heard of this game myself. Granted, it's
me neither.
With indie games that sadly happens, but it's always fun to find a good one. This game's called Caligula Effect.
Because the Caligula Effect.
Is it Caligula?
It's a JRPG.
No.
Yes, I think it's an indie JRPG.
Granted, they always do have names like that you look at, like, what is that about? And then it would be some sort of 12-year-old girl dressed as a witch, and all of a sudden it's a JRPG. No, okay, cool. So yeah, we've got the was it Caligula or Caligula effect?
Caligula effect.
That's the next one we're going to be diving into, and I look forward to it. Like I said, I might not be able to pronounce it, but I'm sure I can play it.
It's going to be a good time. Thanks again for listening to this week's episode of the Critical Look At podcast. We'll see you next week. Cheers.